Welcome to Housel Audio, a sanctuary for those who seek to fuel their minds with inspiration, wisdom, and transformative ideas. Here, we bring the world's most thought-provoking books to life, guiding you through the timeless lessons of motivation, personal growth, and intellectual mastery. In today's fast-paced world, money isn't just a tool, it's a mirror reflecting our deepest values, decisions, and aspirations. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a cornerstone of our channel's journey, reminds us that managing wealth is less about numbers and more about understanding human behavior. It's about the power of patience, the beauty of perspective, and the art of aligning financial choices with the life you truly want. At Housel Audio, we believe that every great book holds the potential to unlock your next breakthrough. As we explore the lessons of the psychology of money and beyond, let these insights fuel your mind, inspire your actions, and transform the way you approach success, happiness, and growth. Let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to a world where ideas spark change. Welcome to Housel Audio. Part 1: The Foundations of Financial Behavior. The psychology of money begins by addressing one of the most critical aspects of personal finance: the psychological and behavioral factors that govern how we perceive, earn, and spend money. Housel argues that financial success is not strictly tied to knowledge or mathematical acumen but deeply rooted in our behaviors, shaped by life experiences, cultural influences, and individual temperaments. In this foundational section, he presents key ideas to understand why people think and act so differently about money, emphasizing that financial behavior is often irrational, emotional, and subjective. 1. No one's crazy. Housel asserts that everyone's financial decisions make sense to them based on their unique experiences. Personal finance is deeply personal, people act on what they've lived through, and no two individuals share identical contexts. For instance, someone who grew up during the Great Depression might prioritize saving and frugality, while a person raised in times of economic prosperity could take on greater risks with investments. Neither approach is inherently wrong, it's merely reflective of their environment. This concept dismantles the judgmental lens through which society often views differing financial habits. It also highlights how financial education should begin with empathy, recognizing that behavior is as much a product of external forces as internal reasoning. 2. Luck and risk. Money decisions are profoundly affected by luck and risk, two factors that are often underestimated. Housel introduces the idea that success and failure in finance are not purely meritocratic. For example, while hard work and intelligence contribute to outcomes, randomness often plays a significant role. Bill Gates's extraordinary success is juxtaposed with the story of Kent Evans, one of Gates's brilliant schoolmates who lacked the same opportunities due to tragic circumstances. This comparison underscores the unpredictable nature of life and finance, where luck can elevate some and risk can destroy others. Housel advises humility when evaluating financial outcomes, reminding readers to be cautious about attributing results solely to skill or character. 3. Never enough. In this chapter, Housel critiques the endless pursuit of more, a behavior driven by greed, competition, and insecurity. Many individuals fail to recognize what constitutes enough in their financial lives, leading to decisions that risk their existing wealth in pursuit of marginal gains. He uses Bernie Madoff as a cautionary tale, illustrating how excessive ambition can lead to catastrophic consequences. Housel argues that contentment, knowing when to stop, is one of the most valuable yet underappreciated financial skills. By defining personal thresholds of satisfaction, individuals can avoid the traps of overreaching and the perpetual dissatisfaction of comparison with others. 4. Confounding compounding. One of the most underestimated forces in finance is compounding. Housel explains that compounding works not only mathematically but also behaviorally. It rewards patience and consistency. Using the example of Warren Buffett, Housel points out that the billionaire's extraordinary wealth isn't just due to his investment skills but also his remarkable consistency over decades. Buffett started investing as a teenager, allowing compounding to work its magic over nearly 8 decades. Housel emphasizes that compounding thrives on time and discipline, making long-term thinking a cornerstone of financial success. However, the challenge lies in maintaining patience in a world obsessed with immediate results. 5. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. The journey to wealth and the journey to maintaining it require distinct skill sets. Housel highlights that the traits needed to build wealth, risk-taking, boldness, and optimism, are often the very traits that can jeopardize wealth if not tempered by caution and pragmatism. Using examples like entrepreneurs who bet everything on high-risk ventures, he explains that staying wealthy demands a focus on survival, adaptability, and risk management. Success in finance isn't about maximizing short-term gains but ensuring longevity. He introduces the concept of reasonable optimism, where individuals acknowledge risks without being paralyzed by them, fostering a balanced approach to financial growth. Part 2: The Power of Perspective. One of the most compelling ideas in the psychology of money is the transformative power of perspective. Morgan Housel invites readers to view money not merely as a tool for transactions but as a deeply personal relationship that shapes and is shaped by individual values, ambitions, and life stages. This part of the book delves into the nuances of wealth, redefining its meaning and challenging societal assumptions. The central message is clear: changing how you perceive money can fundamentally alter how you manage it. 6. Wealth is what you don't see. Housel begins this section by dismantling one of the most pervasive myths about wealth, the belief that visible displays of affluence equate to financial success. He explains that wealth is not what you spend but what you save and invest. A flashy lifestyle often masks financial fragility, while true wealth lies in the freedom that comes from assets not spent. For instance, the millionaire next door who drives an unassuming car and lives in a modest home may be far wealthier than the individual with a luxury car and designer wardrobe, who is burdened by debt. This chapter shifts the reader's perspective by highlighting the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Richness is about earning and spending, while wealth is about accumulating and preserving. Housel encourages readers to cultivate invisible wealth, which prioritizes long-term security and independence over short-term displays of status. This perspective requires discipline, as it challenges the cultural obsession with immediate gratification and external validation. 7. The man in the car paradox. The next perspective shift comes in the form of a paradox. People don't admire the possessions of the wealthy as much as they imagine. Instead, they admire the idea of being in their position. Housel uses the example of an expensive car. While others may notice the vehicle, they are not admiring its owner but envisioning themselves in that car. This disconnect reveals a flaw in how people approach wealth and status. Much of what is spent on impressing others has little impact on how others truly perceive them. Housel argues that understanding this paradox is liberating. By recognizing that material possessions rarely garner the admiration they are meant to inspire, individuals can refocus their financial priorities. True fulfillment, he suggests, comes not from impressing others but from aligning spending with personal values and goals. 8. Tails, you win. In this chapter, Housel shifts the focus to the role of outliers, those rare, extraordinary events that drive outsized success. Whether in investing, business, or personal finance, the majority of outcomes are influenced by a small number of significant events. For example, a single investment in a groundbreaking company like Apple or Amazon can outweigh years of average returns. This perspective teaches readers to embrace uncertainty and focus on opportunities with disproportionate potential. It also reinforces the importance of patience. Long-term success often hinges on waiting for those rare, game-changing, tail events to unfold. Housel emphasizes that building wealth is not about being right all the time but about being right occasionally in ways that matter. 9. Freedom as the ultimate goal. Housel concludes this part by redefining the ultimate purpose of wealth, freedom. Financial independence, he argues, is not about buying luxury or accumulating possessions but about gaining control over one's time and choices. Time is the most valuable currency, and money is simply a means to buy it. This perspective shift is powerful because it reframes the relationship between money and happiness. Instead of chasing arbitrary financial milestones, Housel encourages readers to think about what they truly value and how money can help them achieve it. For some, it might mean early retirement; for others, it could mean the ability to pursue a passion or spend more time with loved ones. The key is recognizing that the most fulfilling use of money is to create a life aligned with your priorities. Part 3: Managing Wealth Over Time. Building wealth is a challenge, but managing it over time is an entirely different endeavor. In this section of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel dives into the principles and practices required to sustain wealth across years, decades, and even generations. He argues that while earning money often requires skill, luck, and opportunity, preserving and growing that money demands humility, adaptability, and a mindset focused on survival. Housel emphasizes that longevity, not short-term success, is the ultimate measure of financial achievement. 10. Save like you'll need it forever. Housel begins this section by emphasizing the importance of saving. Saving, he argues, is not just about building a safety net, it's about creating options, freedom, and resilience. He challenges the notion that savings should always be tied to a specific goal, such as retirement or a home purchase. Instead, he advocates for saving as a habit, recognizing that life's uncertainties often require resources for unforeseen events. By adopting a mindset of perpetual saving, individuals position themselves to weather economic downturns, personal emergencies, or unexpected opportunities. Housel also highlights the psychological benefits of saving, such as reduced stress and increased peace of mind. He contrasts this with the risks of living paycheck to paycheck, where even minor disruptions can lead to financial ruin. 11. Freedom to be flexible. Flexibility, according to Housel, is one of the most undervalued aspects of wealth. While many financial plans are based on rigid assumptions about the future, the reality is that life is unpredictable. Housel encourages readers to prioritize adaptability over optimization, recognizing that circumstances, goals, and values often change over time. This chapter underscores the dangers of overcommitting to specific plans or investments. For example, someone might save aggressively for retirement only to find their health or priorities shift in unexpected ways. By maintaining a degree of flexibility in their financial strategies, individuals can adapt to new realities without derailing their long-term goals. Flexibility, Housel argues, is the key to balancing ambition with resilience. 12. The role of humility. Managing wealth over time requires a deep sense of humility. Housel explains that no one can predict the future with certainty, especially in complex systems like the global economy or financial markets. Arrogance and overconfidence, he warns, are often the downfall of otherwise successful investors and savers. Humility manifests in several ways: acknowledging what you don't know, avoiding excessive risk, and being open to revising your strategies as new information emerges. Housel advises readers to embrace a mindset of cautious optimism, where they hope for the best but prepare for the worst. This approach not only preserves wealth but also minimizes the emotional toll of financial setbacks. 13. The importance of staying the course. One of the greatest challenges in managing wealth is resisting the urge to make drastic changes in response to short-term events. Housel highlights the importance of patience and consistency, especially during periods of market volatility or economic uncertainty. He uses historical examples, such as the resilience of long-term investors during financial crises, to illustrate the rewards of staying the course. This chapter also touches on the concept of time in the market versus timing the market. Housel argues that attempting to predict market movements is a losing game, while simply remaining invested over decades allows the power of compounding to work its magic. By focusing on the long term, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of emotional decision-making and impulsive reactions. Part 4: Money and Happiness. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money challenges one of the most enduring assumptions about wealth, that more money equates to greater happiness. In this section, he explores the interplay between financial resources and emotional well-being, offering a perspective that reframes wealth as a means to align one's life with their values, priorities, and definition of success. While money cannot buy happiness outright, it can create opportunities for freedom, security, and peace of mind, elements that contribute to a meaningful and contented life. 14. The seduction of pessimism. Housel opens this section by addressing the role of optimism and pessimism in financial decision-making and their impact on happiness. He explains that people are often drawn to pessimistic narratives because they seem more urgent and realistic. However, unchecked pessimism can lead to unnecessary fear and risk aversion, preventing individuals from making bold or fulfilling choices with their money. The key lesson here is that a balanced perspective is crucial. Optimism should not be blind, but it should be informed by the recognition that setbacks are temporary and progress often happens incrementally. This outlook allows individuals to view their financial journeys through a lens of hope and resilience, which ultimately contributes to greater emotional stability and happiness. 15. The limits of wealth. In this chapter, Housel highlights the diminishing returns of wealth when it comes to happiness. Research consistently shows that beyond a certain threshold, enough to meet basic needs and provide a sense of security, additional money has a marginal impact on well-being. Yet, many people continue to chase higher incomes or larger fortunes, believing these will solve all their problems. Housel warns against falling into the trap of the hedonic treadmill, where one's expectations and desires increase with their income, perpetually delaying satisfaction. Instead, he encourages readers to define their own enough, focusing on contentment rather than relentless ambition. True happiness, he argues, comes not from earning more but from aligning financial goals with what genuinely matters to you. 16. When you'll believe anything. This chapter delves into the psychological traps that distort the relationship between money and happiness. Housel explains how biases such as confirmation bias, overconfidence, and herd mentality can lead people to make irrational financial choices that undermine their well-being. For example, the pursuit of high-risk investments based on fear of missing out, FOMO, can lead to significant losses, creating stress and dissatisfaction. To avoid these pitfalls, Housel advocates for financial self-awareness. By understanding your own motivations, values, and biases, you can make decisions that are both rational and aligned with your long-term happiness. This self-awareness acts as a safeguard against the emotional volatility often associated with money. 17. Room for error. Housel argues that one of the most underappreciated contributors to happiness is having room for error in your financial life. This concept involves building a margin of safety into your budget, investments, and overall financial strategy. By allowing for flexibility and the unexpected, you reduce stress and create a sense of security that fosters peace of mind. Having room for error also means embracing conservative financial practices, such as saving more than you think you need or avoiding excessive debt. While these choices may seem overly cautious to some, they provide the psychological freedom to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence. This, in turn, leads to a more relaxed and contented approach to money. Part 5. Timeless Lessons for Financial Success. In the final part of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel distills the fundamental truths of personal finance that remain relevant across generations and economic landscapes. These lessons are not rooted in technical expertise or specific investment strategies but in universal human behaviors and attitudes. Housel argues that financial success is less about intellect and more about mindset, patience, and discipline. By mastering these timeless principles, individuals can achieve not only financial stability but also a sense of fulfillment and peace. 18. The power of behavior. Housel begins by emphasizing that financial success is primarily a behavioral game, not an intellectual one. While knowledge about markets, interest rates, and economic trends is valuable, it is often overshadowed by the ability to control emotions and maintain discipline. Fear, greed, and impulsiveness are the primary enemies of long-term wealth, and overcoming them requires a strong understanding of one's own psychology. This chapter introduces the idea that money decisions are rarely made in isolation, they are influenced by upbringing, culture, and personal experiences. Recognizing these influences helps individuals make more intentional choices, focusing on habits that build wealth steadily rather than chasing quick wins. 19. Compounding as the eighth wonder. One of the most powerful yet underappreciated tools for financial success is compounding. Housel revisits this concept to highlight its timeless relevance. Compounding is not just a mathematical phenomenon, it is a behavioral one, rewarding those who are patient and consistent. The key to leveraging compounding is to start early, stay invested, and avoid unnecessary disruptions. Housel uses historical examples, such as Warren Buffett's wealth, to illustrate how compounding transforms modest investments into extraordinary fortunes over time. He warns, however, that compounding requires resisting the temptation to make short-term decisions based on market fluctuations or external pressures. This lesson underscores the importance of time and discipline in achieving financial success. 20. Risk and resilience. Housel explores the delicate balance between taking risks and maintaining resilience. Financial success often involves taking calculated risks, whether through entrepreneurship, investments, or career decisions. However, the ability to weather setbacks and adapt to unforeseen challenges is equally critical. This chapter introduces the concept of the margin of safety, building a financial cushion that allows for flexibility and recovery. Housel advises readers to embrace both optimism and realism, understanding that while risks are necessary for growth, resilience ensures longevity. He cites examples of individuals and companies that thrived by balancing ambition with caution, illustrating the enduring value of this principle. 21. Long-term thinking. A recurring theme in Housel's philosophy is the importance of thinking long-term. Short-term market movements and economic events often dominate headlines, but they are rarely relevant to long-term goals. Housel encourages readers to focus on their broader financial aspirations, such as retirement or generational wealth, rather than being swayed by temporary trends. This chapter also touches on the psychological challenges of long-term thinking, such as the temptation to compare oneself to others or react emotionally to market volatility. Housel provides strategies for cultivating patience and maintaining perspective, reminding readers that financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. 22. Defining personal success. Housel concludes the book with a deeply personal and philosophical reflection: financial success is subjective. While society often measures wealth in terms of net worth or material possessions, true success lies in achieving what matters most to you. For some, this might mean financial independence; for others, it could be the ability to support a family, pursue a passion, or give back to the community. By defining success on your own terms, you can align your financial decisions with your values and priorities. Housel warns against the pitfalls of comparison, which often lead to dissatisfaction and poor decisions. Instead, he encourages readers to focus on their unique goals, recognizing that happiness and fulfillment come from living a life true to oneself. The Journey Through the Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel reveals a profound truth: financial success is not just about numbers, it's about understanding human behavior, mastering emotions, and aligning money with one's values and priorities. From the foundational lessons of financial behavior to the perspective-shifting power of compounding, and from managing wealth over time to exploring the intricate relationship between money and happiness, the book serves as a guide for building a meaningful and secure financial life. At Mind Fuel Audio, our mission is to ignite minds with ideas that fuel personal growth, resilience, and empowerment. This audiobook series, drawn from the psychology of money, aligns perfectly with our vision. Through its timeless lessons, we aim to equip listeners with not only the tools to manage money but also the wisdom to live purposefully. Much like the book's emphasis on long-term thinking, our channel encourages introspection and forward-looking action. Financial mastery is just one part of the broader journey toward self-mastery, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. By understanding the psychology of money, you're not just learning how to manage wealth, you're learning how to lead a life that's abundant in freedom, fulfillment, and meaning. So, as you take these lessons to heart, remember, the greatest investment you can make is in yourself. At Mindful Audio, we're dedicated to being your companion on this journey, inspiring you to turn knowledge into action and dreams into reality. Let's continue exploring together, one story, one idea, and one breakthrough at a time.